Chapter 442 to 443. Sasuke, who was curled up like a shrimp and was in great pain, tried to get up, but his immature body was hit too heavily this time, so he couldn't make any movement as he wanted. There is no difference. Is there even a benefit that Sharingan provides? Kimimura's self-mutter reached Sasuke's ears, making him feel aggrieved. It's not like this. It shouldn't be like this. The Sharingan is the ultimate Kekkei Genkai. With this unwillingness and anger, Sasuke's chakra became more chaotic and powerful. Pressing his discomfort aside, Sasuke got up from the ground again. Kimimura said with a cold tone, "Do you think I will not kill you with the way you are acting?" Sasuke retorted, "I would rather die than the name of Uchiha clan be trampled by the likes of you." Speaking so, Sasuke controlled all his chakra and printed hand seals. Perhaps because of having awakened the Sharingan, this time his speed in making hand signs was significantly faster than before, and in just a few breaths he completed the hand seals. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. In an instant, a huge fireball that was much larger, hotter, and faster than the previous fireball was exhaled by Sasuke. The heat generated by the huge fireball forced the villagers on the outer circle to hide their faces in fear of being burned. The provisional referee, Anko, had tick marks on her forehead as she was fuming. "I should have known that this wasn't a very good idea. These two kids are just abnormal." On the side of the Hyuga clan, Hizashi looked at the fireball and muttered, "His potential is terrible, not any less than yours, Niji." Niji nodded with a more serious expression. If it was before Uchiha Sasuke awakened the Sharingan, Niji didn't really care much, but now, he had to take Uchiha Sasuke a bit more seriously. Although Niji is still confident in being able to defeat Uchiha Sasuke very easily, Niji had to acknowledge that Uchiha Sasuke might just become a rival in the future. On the side of the team row, Kuroto rolled his eyes at the larger fireball. He knows that it still won't change the battle situation, but he had to praise Sasuke for being able to amplify a rank C jutsu to such an extent. Whether hand seal speed or the amount of chakra used, all of them are remarkable, almost reaching the limit of what a 7-year-old child is capable of. Kuroto himself could never achieve something like this at such a young age. Therefore, he genuinely praised Sasuke. Even Kurenai looked at Sasuke with an odd expression. This kid is really talented. Reminds me of Kakashi during our academy years. In the eyes of the people of Kuroto's generation, Kakashi was the most impressive child in the academy during their time, and Uchiha Sasuke seems quite similar. At the entrance of the Hokage building, Tsunade held up her majestic bust with both of her hands, all while paying attention to the battle at the square. Different from the others who were awed at Sasuke's ninjutsu, Tsunade was not so impressed and said to her 3 disciples, "No matter how high-end of a ninjutsu you use, it would make no difference if your attack doesn't connect with your target." The strength and speed of the kid from Otogekure far surpassed the brat from the Uchiha clan, so the situation would still remain the same. This is the reason why I have always said that the 3 of you must never stop your taijutsu training. Yes, the 3 disciples, namely, Shizune, Hyuga Yui, and Uchiha Izumi, nodded again and again. Among the 3, Izumi looked worried for Sasuke, and soon Tsunade's words were proven correct as Kimimura, with his superior strength and speed, easily avoided the fireball jutsu by sliding under it, and arriving closer to Sasuke, he raised his leg and kicked Sasuke. Kimimura's kick connected with Sasuke's chin, causing Sasuke to fly high into the air and then fell heavily to the ground. After suffering another blow, Sasuke's whole world was turned upside down. He was unable to accept what was happening in front of him. Kimimura glanced at Sasuke, who was dizzy and could not get up, then turned around and started to walk toward the Otogekure team. There was no change in his expression from the beginning to end. He had no excitement about defeating an Uchiha with the Sharingan. To him, it was nothing more than a trivial thing. To be more honest, Kimimura was in fact a little disappointed. The disguised Orochimaru smiled at Kimimura's indifference and asked, "How do you feel?" Kimimura looked up and said in a respectful tone, "He was unexpectedly weak. It would have been much better had he been 3 to 5 times stronger. That way maybe he could have made me try a little bit." "Is that so?" Orochimaru's smile deepened, and he asked casually as Orochimaru shifted his gaze towards Sasuke, "Kimimura dear, do you really think that Uchiha Sasuke is very weak?" Kimimura firmly believes that every word of Orochimaru-sama holds profound meaning, so he immediately recalled the one-sided fight a few moments ago and tried to think up Uchiha Sasuke's good points in the battle. But even if he thought for a long time, Kimimura could find nothing worth praise, so he said with a bit of a cautious tone, "His taijutsu and ninjutsu were all messed up. Even shuriken jutsu was not as proficient as I expected, so he was indeed very weak." The disguised Orochimaru smiled and said nothing more. Kimimura is his second most satisfactory work, and one of his prominent choice as a spare vessel. Therefore, Orochimaru knows better than anyone that Kimimura is the kind of pure genius in the truest sense. Coupled with the fact that Kimimura possesses Shikatsu Myaku, so his Kekkei Genkai is not so much inferior to the Sharingan. However, the potential of the Uchiha clan should not be underestimated. After all, Kimimaro is 3 years older than Sasuke. If this duel takes place 10 years later, then the outcome of the battle may change. Kimimaro did not know Orochimaru's doubts and started to walk in the direction of the Hokage building. At this time, Sasuke in the field got up again and roared. He wanted to pounce on Kimimaro again. Enough, Sasuke! But Fugaku, who was standing on the side, stopped Sasuke. Sasuke turned his head blankly and shouted, "Ota-sama, I can win!" Fugaku sighed and explained gently, "Come back, you have done enough. A momentary victory or defeat cannot determine anything." From the beginning, Fugaku has known that the strength of the child of Otogekure far surpasses the level of a high-level Chunin, so no matter how much Sasuke tries, with his current strength he would not be able to defeat Kimimaro, even with careful planning and tactics. The only reason he allowed Sasuke to battle Kimimaro was so that Sasuke can overcome the fear within his heart. Although the fear in Sasuke's heart has not been eliminated completely, it has improved quite a lot, not to mention Sasuke even awakened the Sharingan. Therefore, Fugaku did not want Sasuke to continue to suffer mental trauma, as that would be detrimental to Sasuke's growth in the future. Listening to his father's words, Sasuke burst into tears. Fugaku sighed, "This kid." Sasuke rubbed his tears and turned in the direction of the Otogekure team. "I lost today, but I will remember this defeat and get back to you in the future." Kimimaro didn't even bother to look in the direction of Sasuke, and it didn't seem that he paid any attention to Sasuke. Noting Kimimaro's indifference, Sasuke became anxious and shouted, 3 years! I will get back to you in 3 years and win back the honor of the Uchiha name." There was still no response from Sasuke. His expression was indifferent and he continued to walk away. Haku, on the other hand, glanced at Sasuke from time to time and also passed a gentle smile signaling that Sasuke's words are acknowledged. Nobody noticed a young girl with pink hair in the crowd looking at Kimimaro with an expression of worship and admiration. Back on the side of the crowd, Sasuke looked aggrieved, and the physical pain he had been suppressing due to his emotions finally broke out, making him feel agonized. Makoto crouched down, checked up on Sasuke's injuries, and after making sure that Sasuke did not have serious injuries, she sighed in relief. Afterward, she dusted off and tidied Sasuke's clothes, and also wiped away the tear marks from Sasuke's face. After Makoto was done, Fugaku said, "Sasuke, stand straight." Listening to his father's words, Sasuke immediately straightened his waist. Fugaku nodded and continued, "You may have lost today, but your performance was very good. Despite being young and inexperienced, you did well. Most of all, you did not give up. The spirit to not give up and endure is what makes a shinobi truly exceptional. Understand?" Sasuke immediately nodded, although he still had a frustrated look on his face. Fugaku smiled and said, "Now then, that's my boy. Don't let this defeat get to you. If you feel frustrated, then work hard and you are bound to soar high." Hearing his father's praise, Sasuke felt that all the pain in his body had suddenly disappeared, and there was boundless joy in his heart. Makoto just smiled at Sasuke and ruffled his hair lovingly. The duel between the two children, Sasuke and Kimimaro, was only a small episode before the alliance ceremony. The noise and chatter on the square soon recovered and everyone talked and laughed. Many were talking about the duel and were amazed at just how amazing the kid with the whitish-gray hair is. However, careful people will find that whether it is the host Konoha or the representatives from other villages including Suna, Taki, and Kusa who participated in the alliance ceremony, their eyes will occasionally look at Kimimaro in the Otogekure team. Prior to this duel, everyone, including Konoha, felt that the newly established Otogekure wouldn't have much talent or masters because its roots are too weak, and being able to participate in this alliance ceremony is just Konoha's generosity. But Kimimaro's performance surprised everyone, and it also made the newly established Otogekure very mysterious in the eyes of everyone. As a result, several gazes were looking at the disguised Orochimaru and the 3 Otogekure following him from time to time. Everyone had the intention of probing out any intelligence they can about the other 3 nin as well as the captain of the Otogekure team. On the side of Team Ro, Kuroto's gaze flickered as he looked at Kimimaro. After watching the duel just now, Kuroto realized that he seems to have underestimated Kimimaro's talent before. As such, Kuroto had made up his mind now. Even if his theory about the origins of the Kagaya clan is incorrect, he would still collect DNA samples of Kimimaro for test and research. It would be a waste otherwise. Soon, the alliance ceremony began. On the long table in front of the Hokage building, there was an exquisite crafter alliance contract. Sandame stood in front of the contract, waiting for the representatives of the various shinobi villages. It didn't take long for the representatives to walk toward the Hokage building under the guidance of their respective escorts. The representatives from Sunagekure are Elder Chiyo and Elder Ebizo. Because of their ongoing treatment under Senju Tsunade's watch until a few days ago, Elder Chiyo and Elder Ebizo were staying in Konoha. So the Godame Kazakage Pakura instructed the Sand siblings to be the representative of Sunagekure for the alliance ceremony, as she couldn't dispatch additional manpower. Then the representative from Takigekure is the current leader of Takigekure named Hizen and is the only person to know the location where the hero water is hidden. Then the representative from Oto Geikure is the disguised Orochimaru, who directly walked in front of Sandaime Hokage and wasn't worried in the slightest about being identified by his sensei. The representative from Kyuzugakure is Yamada, the one Kuroto is quite familiar with, as he was the person responsible for helping Kuroto find the location of the Rorin tribe back he created Ryumyaku chakra source. After Sandaime read the particulars of the alliance contract to everyone by the use of an amplification device, he then bit his finger, then pressed his hand to the contract. Immediately afterward, Elder Chiyo, Hizen, Yamada, and the disguised Orochimaru also did the same on the contract on the behalf of their respective villages. The moment alliance contract was completed, fireworks covered Konoha's sky. As the representatives of all the 5 villages pressed their hands in the alliance contract, the alliance led by Konoha was officially established and the alliance ceremony was officially completed. Following the completion of the ceremony, various celebrations started in the square, and the entire village became a sea of joy, filled with chattering and laughter of adults and sounds of children traversing from shop to shop in search of something interesting and fun to do. Sasuke, who had been frustrated by his defeat at the hands of Kimimaro, couldn't stand the joyous atmosphere and left the square. Suddenly, the blonde kid Uzumaki Naruto squeezed out of the crowd and appeared in front of Sasuke. Sasuke, why didn't you fight back against him? Being defeated that badly was really embarrassing. Sasuke, whose cheeks were still red and swollen, said with a furious tone, Naruto, you big fool, what do you know? That guy is a real master. I had wanted to fight back but couldn't. He was just too fast. Naruto was surprised and asked curiously, is that white-haired guy really that strong? Since that night when both Naruto and Sasuke were kidnapped and taken out of the village by the 2 different members of Akatsuki, and coincidentally met up while escaping, both Sasuke and Naruto have become good friends. Of course, generally, it is Naruto who takes the initiative to pester Sasuke. After all, Sasuke, who has the whole family and clan caring for him, is not short of friends, but Naruto, who is always alone, is different. But Sasuke has never refused Naruto, and never given him a cold eye unlike the other villagers. This is because after spending a lot of time with Naruto, Sasuke has also come to see the village's treatment of Naruto. Not understanding why Naruto is treated as such, Sasuke asked his brother Itachi the possible reason, but Itachi just said, do not let others' thinking and treatment of Naruto-kun affect your friendship with him. If you feel that Naruto-kun is a good person, then be his friend. And Sasuke followed his brother's advice and has, therefore, maintained his friendship with Naruto. When Sasuke thought of Kimimaro, his eyes were filled with anger, and said to Naruto, Naruto, do you know Uchiha Shursui, the strongest shinobi of the Uchiha clan? Naruto shook his head with a blank expression. Less than 7 years old, Naruto's mind is filled with ramen and ways to prank the villagers in an attempt to attract attention to him. Where does he have time to learn the name of the strongest Uchiha shinobi? Besides, even if Naruto knows who Uchiha Shursui is, he doesn't know exact name of this person. Sasuke sighed, then said with a gloomy tone, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. Just know that Uchiha Shursui is the strongest in the Uchiha clan, and is renowned as Shursui of the body flicker because of his extreme speed. When I fight against Uchiha Shursui, I am able to fight back and forth and won't be so helpless, sometimes even win against him. But that guy Kimimaro was even faster. Even with the Sharingan, I couldn't do anything against him. Such a thing is simply unheard of. Sharingan is the strongest Kekkai Genkai, and with it, I should have been able to defeat Kimimaro very easily but couldn't. Doesn't that mean that Kimimaro is a real strong shinobi? Naruto's eyes widened, not at the fact that Kimimaro is a real strong, but at something different. Sasuke, you awakened the Sharingan? What does the Sharingan look like? Let me see. Sasuke immediately activated his Sharingan, and while pointing at his eye, he said with a light blush, this is the Sharingan of the Uchiha clan. I heard someone in the clan say that Sharingan is the strongest Kekkai Genkai. Naruto has also heard of the Sharingan, of course from Sasuke. So looking at the scarlet eye and the single black tomo spinning in Sasuke's eye, Naruto said with an amazed tone, it's really amazing. Sasuke nodded with a triumphant look, then said with a depressed tone, I awakened the Sharingan during the battle, therefore, my strength suddenly became much stronger than it used to be. But even so, I still couldn't react to Kimimaro. Doesn't that mean he is extremely strong? Naruto nodded again and again. He does sound amazing, but Grandpa Hokage should be able to defeat him, right? Sasuke thought a little, then nodded maybe, but it would be an extremely difficult battle. One thing is for sure, Kimimaro might be the natural enemy of the Uchiha clan. At this time, Naruto put his arm on Sasuke's shoulder and said, okay, since Grandpa Hokage can defeat him, then I think we don't have much to worry about. Now come on, let's go to Ichiraka Ramen. You got beaten up, so you must be hungry too. I found 2 special coupons in my room today. It will be my treat. But Sasuke immediately tossed away Naruto's arm and said coldly, I am not interested in eating ramen. I must practice and devise a strategy to be able to defeat Kimimaro. I have to win back the honor that I lost today. This is what I as an Uchiha must do. Naruto asked, "Does that mean you are not going to eat with me?" "Obviously not. I have to train to be able to defeat Kimimaro," said Sasuke as he folded his arms over his chest. "I must bear this heavy responsibility on my shoulders. This is a mission given to me by Oto-sama." "Well, I guess if you don't want to eat, then I can eat for both of us," said Naruto as he folded his hand at the back of his head, then swaggered towards the Ichiraka ramen. But just before he left, he also said to Sasuke, "By the way, Sasuke, maybe Uchiha Shisui just let you win against him. I don't believe that the strongest shinobi of the Uchiha clan will not be able to defeat that white-haired kid." Naruto wasn't exactly sure, but this was just his instinctive feeling. Sasuke retorted, "How can that be possible? Whenever we practice, Shisui-sen fights against me very, very seriously.